Welcome back to Storytime. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Where we last left off, one of the members of Axis Cross had been shot in the head, and Joanna and the guy jumped into action, only to find that the culprit was the kid. Joanna and the guy ended up covering for the kid at the expense of his sniper rifle. They lied to Axis Cross, saying that the person had left their sniper rifle behind, but they had gotten away from the scene while the kid limped home. Joanna and the guy eventually made their way back onto the ship. They had a very short conversation about tonight's events and the information that they got from Axis Cross, and we'll pick up from there. Putting that crazy night behind him, the kid went back to his room trying to see if he could fashion a splint or a cast of some sort to help his leg heal faster. He ended up reprogramming the nanobots that he created. Instead of the Hive continuing to make the nanobots that he used to put inside the backpack, he made them instead make a cast. One, saving himself some money instead of going to the doctor and getting it set himself. Two, this way was just faster considering it was the middle of the night. And with his leg all patched up, he went back to monitoring what Galva was doing. As I said in a couple episodes ago, he rolled really high on making her, so to say that she was smart would be an understatement. For example, whenever he first put her in there, about maybe an hour or two max later, she had already figured out that she was inside of a simulation and that all the pre-rendered like people and like background characters that were in the simulation were fake. However, her knowing all that information didn't do a whole lot. She was still having a couple of problems in the scenarios that the kid would put her through just to make sure she'd be ready for her morph that he was going to put her in at some point, which wasn't really on her. Like I said, she has the mental capacity currently of an 8-year-old, but she does learn fast. But instead of letting her struggle along by herself, the kid decided to jump inside the simulation with her to help her out a little bit, and also to see if there was anything else that she needed. The second he jumps into the simulation, her entire face lights up because, you know, there's a real person in here and not just her. While that's going on, Joanna runs off and goes to work, and the guy starts looking into the accountant position that the lab was hiring for. He looks in on the exact specifications that they're asking for the job, and you kind of need some credentials to actually get into this place. Credentials that he doesn't have. He has the actual skills that they're asking for, however, he doesn't exactly have a resume. And instead of making up a resume of his own, he decides to ask the kid for help. Kid, are you busy?
I mean, a little. What do you need?
I just need you to actually write me up credentials for the fake identity I was using on Luna.
Do I actually have time to make it this time, or do you need it in 5 minutes?
I mean, I don't need it right away, but the sooner the better.
Cool, I'll get it to you in like 30 minutes.
With more time to make it this time, he makes the guy a solid fake identity known as Jew Hackman. As mentioned, he did use this identity on Luna, and he's just a decently good accountant who happens to look like Hugh Jackman. Armed with his sufficiently good credentials, the guy calls up the science lab.
Tool Labs, Ronald Beckert speaking.
Hello, yes, I'm calling about the accountant position that you guys have open.
Did you actually read the job description, and do you have a resume?
Yes, and yes. Did I need anything else?
I'm going to send you a quick puzzle. If you can solve it, you'll actually be considered for the job.
Our DM actually had a puzzle ready that he sent to the player character, which he wasn't exactly prepared for. He took a little too long solving the puzzle though, because he was looking at it and realized, you can't solve this. None of these answers are correct. And he spent a little too much time double and triple checking to make sure that there wasn't a correct answer listed.
Time's up. We'd prefer if you didn't call our office to waste our time with your incompetence. You have a nice day. Bye.
And the guy didn't take too kindly to being called incompetent and being hung up on. So he made another call. Hey kid, can you get somebody fired for me?
I'll do more than get him fired. I'll make him look like a fucking pedophile.
And with that, the kid hung up on him. The guy just kind of sat there for a second and realized, I asked the wrong person to do this. But the kid got to work on what the guy asked him to do, plus a little extra. So he hacked into the company, got access to the employee records, and marked Ronald Beckert's file as fired under the pretenses of pedophilia. He also hacked into the police department and put in a fake police report. And since he still had access to the company's employee records, he inserted his fake identity as the new hire who would be replacing Robert Becker. Not even 5 minutes later, we get a call from Joanna saying that the police were there picking somebody up and he wasn't going willingly. So we ended up getting a complete play-by-play of Robert Becker's arrest. He put up one hell of a fight, obviously screaming they had the wrong guy. He ended up slashing one of the front door guards' throats. It was a mess, but ultimately they took him down to the station, and he would soon be replaced by Jamarcius Snow. Next episode will be out on Friday.
Look, I didn't forget it was Monday this time. I actually uploaded a video. It's kind of late, but at least it's up.
Either way, as always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Jar of Wizard and on Tumblr at the exact same handle. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, maybe comment, maybe even subscribe, maybe even share it with your friend named Robert. I don't know. You beautiful people have a nice day.
Bye.